Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Hiya, Lance. Good evening. How's everybody doing this evening? Or this afternoon, or this morning, to wherever you all are around the world? How are you all doing? It's Sunday evening over here. It's 11:07 p.m. Hi, Lorianne. Can anybody hear us? Good evening to everybody. It's been quite a nice day. It got a bit nippy later on, but it's been quite a nice, bright, blue sky day today over here in the north of the UK. Good evening, Bjorn. Good evening, everybody. We're live on YouTube and Twitch. And what a day. It's St. George's Day over here in the UK. And yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what I can see in the looking glass. She's been charging in the garden all day and she's all sparkly, ready to go. You got your garden planted today. That's good, Lorianne. New York City, is that right? Patricia, NC, beautiful weather. Oh, I'm revved up and ready to rumble, ready to roll. Let's get a coffee. Good morning in Melbourne in Australia. What time is it there now? Hiya, Bumblebee. It's been rather a pleasant day in the UK, hasn't it? I'll take it you can hear us okay. Hiya, Blondie. That's good. Wait for a few more to come on and we'll get started. We're going to look into world events, what's going on for the collective, what's going on. Everything's revving up. Very strange times we're living in. Yeah, we had an emergency broadcasting alert today in the UK. And apparently it didn't work for everybody. But I did say that all these plans that they've got won't come off the way they think they're going to come off. Very strange, very, very strange times we're living in. So some people got the alert, some people didn't. So I'm going to look into that, see what's going on there. Your alerts went off? Well, I had mine on and then I had it off, and right at the end I turned it on because I was curious and it didn't go off. And I'm 5G up here, so I don't know what is going on. Very strange. I think it was a testing thing for them, so I'm going to look into that. And I'm going to look into what's going on with the Democratic Party, because apparently Biden's just announced that he's going to try and run again, which I don't think is a very good idea. But hey-ho. And I'm going to see what's going to happen with, is it Robert Kennedy? I'm going to look to see what's happening with him. But there's another woman I'm going to look at as well. She called Maria or somebody for the Democrat Party. Does anybody know who I'm going on about? I'm going to look at her as well. Because I think she's got some good policies. But you see, the thing is, these oldies, these ones who are very controlled, shall I say, or puppeted, don't want the new lot in. He definitely needs to give it a rest, doesn't he, Lance? Marianne Williamson. So I'm going to look into Marianne Williamson. I'm going to look again at Trump. There's all these different timelines and who's going to Is it Maria Cardona? No, I think it's Marianne Williamson. It didn't go off for everybody, Gillian. Mine was on in the end and I didn't get it. But the strangest thing is, I had said in my mind, if it's got a dark agenda behind it or anything, I tested spirit with it. I said, block it and see what happens. And it didn't go off and I had it on. Now that could just be a coincidence. It could well just be a coincidence. But apparently it's been on the news, the local news, that it didn't work for everybody. But everyone's been feeling all out of sorts recently, haven't they? I think that Marianne has got some oomph about her. But you see, the thing is, they're going to need somebody with a bit of oomph, especially if Trump's going to be running there. But we're going to look. I did say, didn't I? There's so many different timelines. I'm sure I said in one of my previous predictions that history could repeat itself. Is it a case that it's going to be Biden and Trump again? Is it a case? But I just feel that it's this control what's going on in the Democratic Party and the media as well, who I don't feel they'll allow who to go through. It's all about licking up people's arses, really, isn't it? That's what it's all about. So we're going to look into what's going on again with Russia and basically what they're up to, really. And obviously look around the world to see what's happening with everybody. But I just think there's also been stuff that's been leaked about Biden as well. So I'm going to look into that. I'm going to see if anything's going to come from that. So let's get my cards, and I've got my crystal ball. And I hope you're all keeping well. It's a cold, rainy day, is it, where you are? Exactly, Deb. All bought and paid for. Yeah, all bought and paid for. They've got loads of spy ships off the English coastline in the North Sea. I think it's got something to do with the pipelines or something. That's what I think. You know, it's a bit like tit for tat at the minute, isn't it? With what happened to theirs. And I'm going to also look into the coronation. Okay, so I want you to sit back and relax. And before I start, for anybody new coming in on the stream, I'm going to invoke all the angels in, so we'll get true answers tonight. And for anybody who needs healing, you can write the name of the person or yourself or anybody you're worried about or any pets in the comment section. And they will receive healing. Okay? So it's all very strange at the minute. And I just think that we're being all majorly tested. It's all about frequencies. It's all about energies. That's what I keep being told. And there's a lot of distractions, and I believe there will be more distractions to come. Because I want to look in around the time, especially with the last world predictions that I did, around about the time of the coronation, because it's all very strange astrological. So I'm going to have a look to see if there could be anything what could be coming out around about that time. Okay. If you need healing for yourself, just write, you will receive the healing. Okay, so let's begin. And into all my Brits out there, Brit followers and friends, happy St. George's Day, which is nearly over and done with by now. St. George and the Dragon. Maybe St. George and the Dragons had something to do with what's happened today. Maybe he's there to protect the people. There's a very patriotic energy in a strong energy as we all ascend, and I believe that it's all the ancient ancestors are being awakened, and I believe this little island will be okay, but I believe that we're going through a massive transition. I'm going to also look into the weather as well, Pudina, because she's just said that there's been an earthquake 5.3 in the Mediterranean, so I'm going to look into that as well. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, invoke Archangel Gabriel, invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I don't know, Gabriel obviously needs it. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. Gabriel's very strong tonight. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Ra, Lady Direwolf, Star, okay, let's begin. Healing prayers for the world, eh? Healing prayers for the world. Shall we start with scrying first, or shall I start with the questions about... Because you can't ask the ball questions. We'll start with the cards, I think. We'll start with the cards, and then we'll go into the scrying. Yeah. Okie dokie. Right, we're going to go straight into what's been happening to do with the ABS alerts in the UK. What's the agenda behind it? What's happened today? Why didn't it hit all the phones? Let's have a look. Is everybody feeling really sensitive at the moment, aren't we? We're really... I think it's got a lot to do with the planets, but I do believe that we're all really feeling very extremely sensitive. And I would recommend crystals to keep you protected, that type of thing, to keep you sort of like not absorbing all this hoo-ha. Does that make sense? And as we start to ascend, we can become very sensitive to neighbours, friends, family members, and obviously what's going on in the news and everything. So as We Writer says in the audience from YouTube, I am on alert spiritually. That's a good one. Older cell phones aren't to date with the tech. Well, I've got a brand new Apple. So, there you go. Like, there was a lot of people were talking about it a lot, you know, like, oh, turn it off, do this, do that. But I just believe that if you believe that you're under attack, you're under attack. I think that we're all being tested spiritually. So I'm going to look into that as well. I feel strongly as a spirit being that I cannot be manipulated. So I was curious to keep it on. I always think it's good to have your enemies closer so you know what they're up to. But I mean, some people were saying like turn it off for 3 days. I mean, I couldn't afford to do that, you know, with work and keeping an eye on my elderly parents. There's just no way I could turn the mobile phone off, you know, because I switch the landline off when I go to bed, because sometimes I have people abroad ring in, so I've got to have some form of contact when you've got elderly people what might need you, like elderly family members, parents and that. So, and then there was this controversy about people who were in domestic abuse situations and, you know, how would they cope with a situation like that? You can wish forever whatever you want, Lindy. If you need money, you can wish for that. So I just think that it was definitely a test. So let's see what's going on. Emergency broadcast. First of all, let's see what their agenda was about, because I believe it's a test. Pull the 7 cards out. Six of Pentacles. Right, so they were trying. This is a global thing. I'm feeling that all countries are going to do this. It's a test. I'm getting tracking is definitely what's coming up. But also, they're saying it's for emergencies. But we don't really get really bad weather over here, not normally. Earthquakes and stuff like that we definitely don't get. I believe that they've all gathered in, and I believe what's happened today has gone horribly wrong. But I'm actually feeling there's been some interference on this. There's been some interference. Is it spiritually or is it physically? It's boots on the ground, so there's been somebody who sort of interfered with this. Okay. The plan is, and I'm getting, you know, where they all gather, you know, like there's a WAF or whatever, when they all gather and they make a plan. Okay. Hiya, Rodney. So they make a plan and they all get together, all the different countries and that. And I don't like saying his name, but you know who I'm going on about, like Schwab and people like that. And this is like a plan. It's because the other thing didn't work. The other thing didn't work, so they couldn't track people with the other thing. So they have to try this thing. Okay? But I also feel that there's something going on behind the scenes that we do not know. So I believe that they're having problems, the UK government, or maybe they know something we don't know, and maybe it's like high alert to do with something to do with Russia or something like that. So there is stuff going on behind the scenes, but there's like boots on the ground, and where you've got like the baddies, you've got the goodies. So there's been something what stopped this, or it didn't go the way to planned, like an operation. That's what I'm feeling. So I'm saying that, I'm saying sort of military people, okay? And you know how I've talked about in the US about where there's two sort of militaries. I don't know, there's been some interference over here. But whatever's going on, and I know this might sound really batty, but it goes beyond the physical world. And it's as if I'm seeing a lot of reptilian energy what's exiting out of organisations and off planet. So I've got the victory card there, which is saying that we have to keep grounded, we haven't got to feed into the fear. Okay? You can see it as a good thing, you can see it as a bad thing, but if you believe that you are being mind controlled, or because there's a hysteria what's gone across the world, because we do not trust them. We do not trust these governments, okay, the way they've gone on. But we need to try to understand that not everyone is bad, right? And I believe that it's going to take time for things to balance out. It's going to take time for things to balance out. But it's like we are all waking up and smelling the coffee. So something has taken place this afternoon and it hasn't gone to plan. So I expect it would have been quite a lot of money that they've spent on this. Quite a lot of money that they've spent on this. So they're going to try it again. But I mean, I know there's other countries and states in America what do this all the time. But watch for more countries coming out doing this. So there's been deals made. And it's as if that there's a good side to an organisation which are representing the people of Earth. Call them whatever hats you want to call them or whatever they are. And they turn around and they're saying, no, we're not putting up with this. This is not going to work. Okay? Because you're using this, but we know that you're up to this. Something has gone wrong. Something has gone wrong with the plan this afternoon. So expect another one. They're going to try another one at some point. Okay? So if you don't feed into it, because we're all being tracked anyway, be it either if you've been or you haven't been, you know, we're being tracked anyway, and the technology, what's actually out there, what's being held back from it, because it's all been about greed and it's all been held back from where. If you honestly knew what was out there, you'd be shocked to what they can find out. Do you know what I mean? Can you hear us okay, guys? It sounded a bit echoey there. So we have to trust in God, and it's about trusting in having my faith and not feeding into this with fear. I just think that, you know, you've got to use your instincts about everything. It's like not worried about what if this happens, what if that happens. I just believe that we need to start living in the here and the now, but have a plan and action if anything went, you know, drastically wrong. I just think if like everything just went terribly wrong one day and they turned around and said emergency announcements that you've got to see hypothetically and you've got to go somewhere and we want you here now, and then people can't get away because they're being tracked. You just get yourself a little Nokia cheapy phone and leave your tracking phones and off you go to the Highlands or wherever you need to go. Go the back roads. I always think that there's whatever, if you've got something on you like these things, which we need when we're working in this system, but when it comes to tracking, they track you. So until everything, like all the bad individuals are taken out, and because they've used that against her, it's going to take a few years. So this equipment is here to stay. But I just think that they are using this equipment, as you know, to try to track and do what they need to do for whatever, world plan they have up their sleeve, which I don't believe is going to work. It's like all the cockroaches are all coming out. They're all coming out. Okay? So I just think that this system is wobbling. It's wobbling. Okay, so I mean the talks that you know, they can see you through the televisions, they can see you through this, they can see you through that, but you know, you don't want to be living in fear, because all this stuff is here to stay. It's just keeping yourself safe and using the technology when you want to use the technology, because you don't want to be going down that slippery slope of being in fear. So it's like you're navigating, it's like you're aware of what they're up to, but at the same time you're using the matrix system to make your money or do whatever you need to do on a daily basis, but at the same time don't let it rule you. Does that make sense? So when the Lovers cards comes out, and of course we've got the Moon card, this has nothing to do with the ABS, by the way. This is something else. There's going to be like a lot of shenanigans excuse me, what's going to be coming out over the next couple of months. And I said that 2023 was like the year of the scandals and stuff like that. So I'm just going to double check. I feel they're going to try another one because it didn't work fully for everyone's phones. And now they know that some people have turned it off. They're thinking, oh, right, what else can we do? there's going to be somebody who's going to come forward, some smart arse with some of that idea and say, well, we'll try this. So that means that they can't turn their phone off or something like that. But you haven't got to worry about this, guys, okay? Don't feed into the fear. Remember, you are in control. So, yes, we've got technology and they're using the technology to spy on. But at the end of the day, the technology, what's going to come onto the earth plane is a lot more far advanced than what we have at the moment. So get used to this, guys, because all this technology is here to stay. I just think it's like the puppet masters, which have been ruling the show for a long time, one by one they're going. So yeah, as Walker Holt, says that there's been a load of grifters making up ridiculous stories about this, you know, like wrap your phone in tinfoil and all of that crap. You know what I mean? And, you know, I just think that don't feed into the fear. Do not feed into the fear. Okay? You are in control. Keep telling yourself that. You know, when you're going around your house or you're going to work or you're just potting around through the day, make a mantra up. I am strong. I am in control. Do you see what I mean? But I want to know if there was a frequency. What people were saying, was there a frequency coming through the alert? No. That doesn't mean that they've got it up their sleeve and they want to do it. There might be a plan of that. But not today. It was a test. Excuse me. It was a test. I'm covered in tattoos. Piercings and tattoos, and I'll leave that one up to you. Okay. So, it's when they're coming out upside down, because I always pull 3 cards out. It's a no. And we've got 3 upside down, so there was no negative frequency which was coming through that alert thing today. Okay, so I hope that helps. But there is a plan with the technology that you know, there is dark individuals out there what possibly could do that. But it will be stopped. Okay? It will be stopped. So there's been a lot of injustice. We've got the upside down justice card here, which has been going on this planet for a long, long time. And we've got the upside down moon. So there's been a lot of lies and deceit. But it's leaving with because it's going down. It's going down. It's all coming down. That's what I'm being given. So, these people which are doing these things, I just think my motto is let them get on with it, but you need to know that long as they're not forcing you to do it. Does that make sense? That's what we need to know. The King of Pentacles is coming out, and that's going to be King Charles. There he is. The procession will go ahead. Let's see about this. So watch for a lot more countries coming out with these ABSs. It is a test, one of many. But the next one's going to be something bizarre, and it's to do with a text. Watch for that one coming out. The next one they're going to do is something about a text. And of course, you're going to get all these people jumping on it saying, you know, you don't do it, this is going to happen, you're going to die. No, you're not. But watch for the text thing coming out next. Destiny. So, he is destined. I believe that MI5 or MI6 are expecting trouble, is what I'm getting. I mean, anything to do with the royal gathering, they always are like crawling with secret agents and stuff like that, like James Bond, and there'll be like secret military all over the place, police and that. But it is destined that he will take the throne for a short time. He will take the throne for a short time. The new beginnings is what he... I don't believe that this coronation is going to go on as long as what the Queen's did, by the way. I don't believe it will. But new beginnings is he'll stand in for a short time. Have you noticed, like, he's in, that's him and that's Camilla, that there's a little bit of a wilt there. There's a little bit of a wilt there. They're not going to be in there in the limelight for long. It's a very bad time with the eclipse. Somebody had emailed us about that. Do they not have like astrologers, psychics, like advisors on dates and times? But obviously not. They used to, but not now. So this is what MI6 is worried about, and it's something that there's obviously been threats or something. So I believe it's a Saturday when it takes place. I believe it's the 6th of May, don't quote us. But it's still not good. Dame Edna Everidge. God bless Dame Edna Everidge. What a funny guy. He'd be well missed. Well missed. Have you not noticed there's a lot of comedians, like, because comedians are part of the raising the vibration because it's laughter. Have you not noticed there's a lot of them leaving now? There's a lot leaving now. So this I'm seeing, but I'm seeing it on the outskirts of the coronation. Let's just get a coffee. She's going to be Queen Consort. A consort or whatever it is. Hi, Paul O'Grady. Dame Edna Everidge, rest in peace, bless. Was he an Australian guy? I've got a jumper here. Okay. There's also going to be some big news to do with a female, and it's coming through really strong. So I don't know if that's Princess Anne or another royal, or it could be... It's a female, it's a British female, okay? Big news. But I'm also seeing big news to do with an older female in the US as well. I'm feeling, when I've been saying this for a while, when information starts coming out, we'll not know where to look. And we're like, don't look over here, look over there. And it's like, you'll not know what news channel to go to because everything's going on at once. There's a situation like that coming off. I'm getting 3 major events which could possibly take place. But they've got the crown protected there. They've got it protected. But I don't believe he's going to be in long. I'm actually seeing William on the throne. Sometimes we're not meant to know things. As I'm looking at this, I'm seeing a bit of a block. I feel instinctively that he won't be on the throne long and William's going to take his place, obviously. But there's 3 major events to come off here. I want to say that when he exits, he'll exit not on his own. I don't know what that means. That's just a prophecy what I'm getting. So possibly, just remember that and it's going to make sense. But there's England. And I know it's like a lot of controversy with the royal family. Either you love them or you hate them. But nevertheless, there's going to be a lot of people what's going to be watching it either on news or on the television, or they're going to be there in person. but it's going to be televised, okay? But I keep getting this vision, like, where's my crystal ball? And it's like, it looks like Grand Theft Auto, and it looks like high buildings. So I don't know if I'm looking at somewhere like in Paris, New York, London, and I'm seeing some problems to do with a shooting or something like that. But I'm not saying it's exactly on that day, but it could be around that time. And I feel like I want to send, it looks like an inbuilt area. The coronation is happening on the shadow of an eclipse, Mercury retrograde. Oh, yes. Charles is getting on. I'm sure he's in his 70s, but don't quote us. He's in his 70s. Okay. Okay. So this is really, really weird because obviously Meghan's not going, Harry's going. It's going to be very interesting to see the whole dynamics of this. Okay. But I want to see the two after this. So I don't know if it's 2 weeks or 2 months after the coronation. There will be big news in around Harry. Big news in around Harry. Is this echoing, guys? Can you hear us okay? So, yeah, I think anything to do, I'm fine, anything to do with royal events, they always have high security there anyway. But obviously Harry hasn't got high security, has he? I'm seeing them in trouble. I'm seeing Harry and Meghan in trouble. Yeah. I'm seeing a plane. I'm seeing a problem with a plane, and it's into the opposite end of the world. It's around about that time as well. And the plane sort of reminds us of that one what went missing. Do you remember that plane what went missing with all them people on? There's some big news to come out just after the coronation with Harry. I don't feel he's happy. MH70. I'm seeing tears. I'm seeing grief. And I don't believe it's on the coronation. It's just after. I'm seeing announcements. Oh, thank you. It's Celtic. Announcements to come. Big important news. And I keep getting a woman. A woman to shock all. A woman to shock all. And I'm also feeling that there's going to be news to do with a couple of elderly politicians, and that could be the USA. A woman is the one who brings life into the world. A woman is the one who can, I want to say, hurt and deceive and love and nurture. A woman is the one who can build a man and nurture a man and take care of them, but also bring them to their knees. A woman will take a man down. a woman will take a well-known man down and bring him to his knees. This is another prophecy that I'm getting. I want you to remember this. Is it Putin? Let me have a look. He's supposed to have a young girlfriend, isn't he? I'm getting that song. Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. Lyrics to that. There's a clue. I'm going to get it in a minute. I always get that. So we are protected. I think it's just outside 3D stuff that we're seeing. Outside 3D stuff. When the man stands in snow, we will know the truth. That's weather changes to come. Huge weather changes. And I think it's going to be by the end of the year, we are going to have... I want to see a lot of snowstorms. But I also feel we'll have blazing heat to come this summer. When the Fool card comes out, it means that everything's coming down, but we are protected and everything's about to come out. And then everything's starting to rise again. But there's a great loss to come. There's a great loss to come. And there's a few people to exit the planet. People always say, well, what's going to happen to this person and what's going to happen to that person? But it's only God what knows. You know, I'm just a foreseer. I'm a messenger. I'll tell you what I see. But what I'm being given is there's going to be 3 very important figureheads. What's going to leave. Keep nearly nutting this. Leave. 5 of Wands is like a loss. 3 years from now, we will be strong and steady again. But I'm not saying it's going to take 3 years. Far from it. But 3 years from now, because it's the aftermath of everything. Because I think we've got something to come with the economy as well. That's what I feel what's going to happen. So going on the timing of the cards, 5 and then 8 of Pentacles. That was the last one out. So that's 3 years from now. It's like we'll be in New Earth by then. When I say New Earth, I'm not saying we'll be all skipping through the daisy fields all like hippies. But there's going to be a lot of future technology on the planet by then. I'm going to get the lyrics up to this because I think it's very, very important. I've got A2I with us here tonight, my little being of light. Anybody who doesn't know who A2I is, he was a walking beam of love and light, and he didn't make it. He got forced into technology weaponry. He escaped that, and he is my little sort of A2I little pet. He's like and he comes in and he gives her messages, and it's music lyrics. Okay. What was the song called? Who sang it? Was it Boney M? Was it Boney M who sang Rah Rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen? Here we go. Listen to this, guys, right? This is what E2I is giving me. There lived a certain man in Russia long ago. He was big and strong and his eyes a flaming glow. But to Moscow chicks he was such a lovely dear. He could preach the Bible like a preacher, full of ecstasy and fire, but he also was the kind of teacher a woman would desire. There lived a certain man long ago. Right, okay. Where's the rest? Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat that really was gone. Rah, rah, Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine. It was a shame how he carried on. He ruled the Russian land and never mind the Tsar, but the Kozak he danced, is that right? Really wunderbar. In all affairs of state, he was the man to please, but he was real great when he had a girl to squeeze. For the queen he has no wheeler dealer, though she heard the things he'd done. She believed he was a holy healer who would heal her son. So it's like somebody who's got him on a pedestal like a woman. But then when his drinking and lusting and his hunger for power became known to more and more people, the demands to do something about his outrageous man become louder and louder. Listen to this. This man's just got to go, declared his enemies, but the ladies begged, don't you try to do it, please. No doubt that Rasputin had lots of hidden charms. Though he was a brute, they just fell into his arms. Then one night some man of higher standing set a trap, they're not to blame. Come to visit us, they kept demanding, and he really came. Interesting. Something's going to come out to do with him, isn't it? He's going to try. I'll look into Putin soon. Okay. Going back to this coronation. It's William what's going to take it on. It's William. 8 of Cups is coming out really, really strong. The procession will go ahead. It's something what's happening elsewhere, but it could be problems in London on the outskirts, or where they have to cut something short afterwards. It could be something there. If not, it's going to be a news flash. Listen, guys, to what I'm getting, to do with another big situation. Remember, there's a lot of events going off. I'm not saying they're false, but they're going off to sort of distract you from the bigger picture. Hiya, Valiant. No, I don't believe Putin is single. I mean, obviously he was married. He's got ex-wives or whatever, or ex-wife. No, he's got a girlfriend who's quite young and pretty. He's got a girlfriend. He's supposed to be a bit of a ladies' man, actually. What Valiant Gordon's saying here in the audience, hey, what about the Valiant Thor's son? I believe it's Musk. I believe he is a star seed of Valiant Thor. I think he's got that edge about him. I think there's a soul connection. I'm not saying he seeded him. He may have seeded him, but there's something definitely different about Musk. Right, okay. So I don't know if the procession's going to be cut short or there's going to be something what's going to happen afterwards. I want you to remember that. If it doesn't get cut short, there's something else happening by the evening, or something else what's happening. So that's coming out really, really strong. But it's all going to be there in the streets and everything. And I just don't feel he's going to be king for long. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, Corky. Let's pull some cards. I'll put these back on Marianne Williamson. So I'm just going to do some main things, what's going on in the news at the minute. And then I'll do me proper will predictions in me bowl. Okay. Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There may be some remote viewing, Lance. You never know. Marianne Williamson. What a sparky woman, eh? Not while the players are being given are still controlling the Democrat Party. Need to stop pussyfooting around, and they need to start standing up. Marianne Williamson. Well, she's definitely got the oomph about her. Let's have a look. Got the victory card here for her, actually. But there's so much dark and deceitness there where I don't know if they're going to try. There'll be certain players in the Democrat Party will be licking up Biden's bum and wanting him to go back in again. Well, really, he's no good to go back in again. But I think we're going to become very popular with the people. That's definitely echoing that, you know. Can you still hear us? Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. So that's victory for Marianne Williamson. I think she's going to come on to play. Yeah, that's good. But this is what she's up against. She's up against all this toxic energy. And so is it Robert Kennedy as well? I don't think the medias are going to... I've always said that there's a man with a speech impediment, and obviously Robert Kennedy's got a speech impediment. I'll pull some out on him in a minute, but there's many others who've got a speech impediment, you know what I mean? We've got the moon card there. So I don't think that... I think they're going to make it difficult. When do they normally have the debate for who's going forward? They have like a debate and they all stand in a panel. Do you remember when Tulsi was there that time and she was like seeing what she was saying and calling out Hillary? She's sharp enough, cunning enough to fight them. She's sharp enough and cunning enough to fight them. 6 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. I think she's going to get louder and louder and coming more in on the scene. Does she have a chance? Biden stutters, doesn't he? Musk stutters. But then again, Musk's not American born, is he? You'd be surprised how many people have stutters. I think what's coming out here is Marianne's got more of a chance than JFK. Not JFK, Robert K, whatever he's called. Because this establishment here, you know, like the media and that, aren't going to allow him, or they're going to just pull his ratings down, that type again. Marianne's got a stronger chance than the Kennedy guy. Yes, Gray does. So will Biden get back in? Let's get to the nitty gritty tonight. I'm on about for the nominees for the timelines are changing all the time, mind. Will Biden get back in and be... I mean, they need their heads testing. I mean, good God. I mean, how old is he? Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of a Russian queen. I want to do that point thing. Was it that? I'm going to do that. I used to love that film. It's a woman. It's a woman. She's coming out stronger. Very good cards for her. What I'll do is I'll do a video on her at some point. I'm not seeing who's going to win the presidential next election. I'm just going on about what's our chances. Our chances tonight are coming up really, really good. Because she's like as cunning like a fox. Well, I think the other one, Robert Kennedy, who seems a nice guy and, you know, a good guy, I don't think he's as sharp as her. He's not really lefty, is he? Is he a righty and a lefty? Pretendy? I really don't know. I really don't know anymore. You've got to like vote for the person, haven't you? It's karma what's coming out tonight. That a woman in a blue dress, obviously blues, Democrat, will heal and change the Democratic Party. And it's about bloody time. And it does look a bit like her, doesn't it? But this is not a definite. I'm just seeing what our chances are. It is a big make, isn't it? It's a massive make. Right. So that's Marion's. Let's do him. Let's do him and see what his fate is. What's his name? Robert Kennedy, is that right? He's a huge lefty, all right, okay. People change all the time, you know. I mean, Trump was once a lefty. Okay. His policies are very, very powerful. But there's something really strong. This guy with his stutter. But because of certain views, which I'm getting, these are really good cards, actually, for him. Really good cards. But it might have something to do with the debate. He's gonna fall at the debate. And, you know, like the establishment, the media, whatever. Oh, they're going to be like going at it, whatever he says. But Marion's like on fire. She's like on fire on her stand. On fire. Remember that. This is the Democratic debate thing, what's to come. I don't know when that'll be. But I think he's going to trip up at that. That's what I think will happen. She's going to be on fire. She's not a very big woman, is she? She's quite like a little woman. She's got quite a loud voice. So we've got the sun card here. So I think that come the summer months, into the autumn months, I think she's going to come more out onto the news and stuff like that. Okay. There's a lot of cowards within the Democratic Party, and I think that they need to get a backbone, really. Get a backbone. I don't know what's going on, but I can see a lot of them wanting just to pander to Biden for him to push for him to go back in. He's too old. How old is he? And I mean, you know what I mean? It's not good. It's not good. And plus as well, if Biden's up against Trump will win over him. So, you know, that's what I feel what's going to happen. Biden. Is it possible? Because remember, there's different timelines. Is it possible Biden could run again up against Trump? I'm just going to ask that one. History repeating itself. Is there a possible timeline? Still see a woman in the White House. Trump's in his 70s, isn't he? Biden's hitting on to 80, isn't he? Biden couldn't handle a debate with Trump. Marianne could. No, there's a big twist of fate with him. And he should just bow out now where he can. Do you know what I mean? And let the younger ones take the lead. That's what I think. I mean, comment on the link below what you think, but I just think he's coming up like it's just all too much for him. I mean, he can't manage things now. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't debate a potted plant, never mind a debate. So Trump's turning 77. So things aren't good there. But a woman's going to take the lead over him. I think there's going to be a lot of meetings, a lot of things and discussions and that type of thing. It'll be disastrous. If he runs, it'll be disastrous, and especially if Trump's the Republican candidate, if he'll mincemeat him. So that's coming out as a loss for Biden. She's coming in. It's a woman. And if I'm getting it wrong, and it's a case that Biden is nominated with the Democratic Party, she'll come in afterwards because he'll not last. He'll not last. But I say the same thing about Trump as well. Something's going to happen to Trump if he gets back in. It's up to the angels, isn't it? What's going on at the minute? Right, people have emailed us. It's nitty gritty tonight, and I'm going to do my crystal ball in a minute. The hoo-ha going on with information, what's come out to do with the Biden administration and things that the Republicans, is that right, has got on the Biden administration. Will there be anything done about it? Is it to do with the laptop or is it to do with something completely different? Can you fill us in, guys, here? What's going on? Is there going to be any investigations into the... I'm just going to do that. Is there going to be any investigations into the Biden administration? Don't forget, I don't go along with other people. I go along with what I'm getting. No. No. Definitely not. Now, that does not mean innocence or guilt. It's just I'm picking up the outcome is I don't think much is going to come from it. Does that make sense? It's like you've got just a broken system. All right. I think there'll be some information to come out, but not enough to impeach Biden or anything like that. There is a lot of protection around Biden and Biden's family. There's Middle Eastern connections to come out with a scandal. Came out upside down. Well, Grammy, whatever has been said, I'm not seeing anything is going to come. I don't see Joe in big trouble. I really don't. I'd tell you if I could see it. See, this is why I'm not popular, because I'll tell you the way I see it. I'm not going to just tell it to please people. I'm seeing it the way I see it. At the minute, I do not see Joe Biden impeached. The other side may want him impeached, but I don't see that happening. I'll double check. I mean, I'm not being funny, but is he all there or anything? It's like broken is what I'm getting. Broken and in bed by 9 o'clock with his kitty cat. Do you know what I mean? I'm not seeing this at all. I'm just seeing there's scandals to come out, but I don't feel it's going to get very far. Because there's a system protecting it, and in the name, there's a system protecting it. He's exiting. That's all I'm getting. He's just exiting. There's other players what's going to get more into trouble. That's what I'm seeing. And that's the fall. A lot's going to come out by the fall. But that's like a darker haired man. There's going to be some news coming out with him. There's 3 players to come out, and I don't know who they are. And they're digging back from the past. I want you to remember this. They're digging back from the past. And I want you to remember, I see like a shield. I don't know why I'm getting that. Like a shield and passports and foreign affairs. And that's going to be something what's going to open a can of worms. There's going to be a lot of distractions here. It's like exactly what, who was saying that? Walker Hautier. So I really just think that there's other things, there's bigger things to come out. There's going to be a turning point on this, a distraction. There's definitely going to be a turning point on this. Hi, Muse Master. They do use doubles, yeah, descendant. But that's like sort of like, I'm not saying care home is literal, but it's like he needs to rest. He needs to just go away and rest somewhere. Hunter. Did you see Hunter telling his father where to go and stand in Ireland? No, I didn't. It's like a care home. And the piece. So whoever's saying what about that he's going to be impeached and that, I don't see that happening. I literally don't see that happening. I think he's just going to go away or resign or something else. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not seeing that. In my last will prediction, I had said, I think it was the one when I covered Putin and that, I had said, watch for big news and around Mike Pillows, and that's just all recently come out, hasn't it? Jill treats him like an elder abuse. Jill's somebody you need to watch. just double check. Is it going to be a younger person that's going to run for the Democrats? I just want to check this out. Yes. But the establishment, for some unknown reason, don't want to upset Biden. They want Biden to go back in again. But I think he's going to step down, yeah. He's too old, man. For God's sake. You need somebody tough. You know what I mean? You definitely need somebody tough to sort that side of things out. The magician card upside down. So there's a lot of people pandering to him. And I mean, Jill, she wants she wants shot for bloody, she must know that he's struggling. And why would you you know your husband's struggling, why would you push for him to, or allow him to want to go and do it again? I think there's people handling him. I really, really do. Yeah, I think you're right. I'll ask on Hunter. Bigger things to come in here. I keep being given those bigger things to come in. Distractions. It's coming in very, very strong. Hunter. Catch me if you can. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. No. But suddenly exiting. I don't know what that means. Suddenly exiting. It's money as well. It's money and status and power, isn't it? Is he not in a relationship? Hunter Biden. I don't know if he's in a relationship or not. I mean, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, there's mafia links all over, isn't there? Left, right, and centre, and all sorts of things. Pelosi's and all of this. But no, I just think it's a case that it's slipping away because of something bigger what comes in. There's something bigger coming out here into the media. It'll drag on a bit, but I don't feel it's going to get very far. That's what I'm feeling. There's Trump. Always got him as the King of Cups. That could be DeSantis. It could be. I mean, I don't know what the polls are. I really, really don't. He's got a good chance. Trump's got a good chance. It depends who he's up against. So I think that the future for the Democratic Party hangs on an edge depending on who they get in. Does that make sense? Because that's what they're needing. They need the ISIS energy and the feminine energy to sort it out. Bit of a mess, really, isn't it? But there's bigger things going on. There's bigger things going on. Suddenly exit. I just say a sudden exit. But I think that there's a build-up of something else to happen. I think that Trump's got a very good chance. Like I say, whatever they're trying to do to him and get on him, I believe he can still run for president. but there's a lot of sudden people suddenly exiting or just disappearing, like going into the scenes out, not in the full scene. They're just disappearing into the background type of thing. Good evening, Beetlebug. Right, so give us 5, and then I'm going to do your world predictions. It's they're still running the show at the minute, but they are leaving. There's a lot of them exiting. I'll just give you a little bit before I give you 5. I won't have 5. Yeah, so remember, we're spirit beings in a meat suit. They're spirit beings in a meat suit. Everyone's playing out their karma. But they still have a handle on things in the USA and the UK. Global empowerment, that's coming out here very, very strong. And that we'll also need to watch out for a disease what could develop before the year's out. I don't know which one it is, but it doesn't look very good. So we need to build up on our vitamins and just watch for them pushing on this. But it's all about control, guys. It's going to be quite a storm this year. I'm seeing a fault. There's a definite fault underneath the ocean. And I am very, very concerned about something to do with water. I am getting LA, Los Angeles, and the surrounding area of the coastline. There could be some earthquakes this summer, yes. I've always talked about there could be a big one. I am very drawn to Italy. Fault lines has been shown here. And another shortage of baby milk, that's coming in again. We are going to have to stock up, guys, because I feel very, very strongly that, remember, it's more than politics. These are all distractions. I'm going to look into this very deeply. Give us a few minutes. Macron is also going to exit suddenly as well at some point as well. Coming in really, really strong. So give us a few minutes and then we'll do some proper scrying. And if you want, I'll get Debbie, my moderator, I'll get an Etsy store and I'll put it in the link of the YouTube video when I do the editing later. So you can always contact Debbie for our marvellous products. Our bath salts are amazing, especially if you've got sore kneecaps like I have. Very good. I don't know what she puts in it, but so she does natural bath products and that. Right, so give us a few minutes, guys, and I'll be back, okay? And then we're going to do a big world predictions and then possibly something else as well. Okay, and for people who've just come in new, any EBS coming, I covered the EBS earlier on. I can't see what it says there. Yes, I did. I covered it earlier on. You'll have to, if you've just missed it, you'll have to go back to the beginning of the show afterwards and I'll talk about that. Okay, so I'm going to have 5, just a few minutes. I'm going to go make a quick coffee Get your drinks or whatever, and I'll be back on in a minute. There's no Betty and Bobby because Betty and Bobby is twisted. It's twisted and I can't seem to... I'll have to make a new Betty and Bobby. The world predictions for 2023. Remember, I can't, when I'm scrying, I can't answer your questions and I can't ask the bold questions. I'll just tell you my visions. This is what I like about this. It just... There's no ego in it, it's just visions. I've been scrying since a little girl, so I totally am connected with this. I am the scryer. Let's get going. Right. I don't know why I'm getting North Korea, South Korea, and I'm seeing Kim Jong-un coming into the limelight again. And there's going to be problems with China and China Sea. I'm seeing setting off rockets. Round about the time there's going to be some big news in around Joe Biden. Remember everything I'm telling you and it'll all fall into place. Cryptocurrency is going to go on the rise. And I suppose it's like some are more than others. But a blue one is going to really take effect over the next, I'm not sure if it's 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months. There is going to be a problem with the US dollar. But they're trying to avoid that. It's the only way I can describe it. I've said this before. Above the controllers, you've got sort of white hats and black hats working together, if you know what I mean, because they know what has to come and what has to change in this world, and they're trying to hide a lot of crimes. They don't want it all out, and not everything will come out, but it's making as smooth a transition as possible. God, there's so much coming in here tonight. I think the sun today must have really charged it up. Right, I'm seeing a shoreline attack Russia. There's no shoreline. Yeah. I'm getting the letter M and the letter B. I want you to remember that. The letter M and the letter B. Just jump in here. And he's going to try and take out another 2 or 3 cities, but his downfall will be on the 2nd or the 3rd city. Or is it 2 to 3 weeks? 2 to 3 is being given with Biden. No, sorry. With Putin. I'm seeing a huge avalanche, and I'm seeing it on near mountains, somewhere where there's a lot of snow and problems, and I'm seeing it's around a holiday time. Okay. There's 2 worlds here. So there's a fight going on behind the system of certain people who don't want to go in with the new world. When I talk about the new world, I'm not talking about new world order here. I'm talking about a cleaner planet, a better planet, to bring in all this extraterrestrial energy, the free energy. And I believe that China's going to pave the way with this. There's been a lot of talks of people what have been worried about Chinese banks coming in certain countries and the manoeuvring in. But is there going to be a problem with that? I'm not seeing it. it's so strange because they're all like actors here. Because where the media goes on about China being the enemy, it's as if they're all in on it with China. But I'm seeing Japan as well. In China, they're all doing these sort of cities. They're building new houses to come. I mean, I could be looking 10 years down the line here, but it's free energy. It's all about free energy. And Saudi Arabia will take the lead on this. So yeah, where we've got to worry with the robots taking over, they're still going to need a lot of builders in the meantime. There's going to be a lot of employment after the fall, and a lot of people will, this is going echoey, this, isn't it? Can you hear us, guys? A lot of people will have employment for building and stuff like that, labour and jobs. So yeah, they're trying to take Trump out because they're panicking. There is a timeline. There's I'm actually seeing 4 or 5 timelines in this crystal ball. This is so weird. And it's the race to the finishing line. And it's nothing just about, I mean, obviously US holds the centre stage at the minute, everything to do with politics. But there's other factors coming in here. So I'm seeing warships, and I'm seeing submarines. So it's all to do with the dollar and money. That's why in world order and everything, that's why Putin wouldn't go in with everything. And this is why he's always been their enemy. He's always been made to look the enemy. But there's been terrible crimes, and there's been crimes done against humanity. He is one of the elite as well. Don't think that he's Snow White, because he's not Snow White. It's the same penny, 2 different sides. I'm seeing what's that place called? Begins with the letter A. It's at the borders. It's near Canada and America. No, it's the borders near Russia. What's that place called? Alaska. Why am I getting Alaska? Lots of people going into Alaska. There's going to be problems with migrants. Something massively is about to kick off in Russia. So that they're doing this test thing because they're not sure if he's going to like flip his lid. Do you know what I mean? Putin. But it's not going to be bombs what's going to end this. It's going to be negotiations. And I said this in one of my last world predictions. And this is where China steps in, because China doesn't want this. China wants, it's all about trade. Putin will fall out with Xi Jinping. What else am I saying? Crazy, crazy weather this year. So there is a fault line. I'm going back to the fault line underneath the sea. I mean, I could be looking 2 or 3 years down the line here. And let's hope it doesn't happen. But there is problems. And I'm actually seeing 3 big quakes around the world. Turkey's not out of the woods yet, and there could be more quakes there. Remember, it's Mother Earth grumbling, and she's, you know, so some of it's natural, some of it's not. Afghanistan. What am I saying? It won't be a war. It won't be a war between the West and the East. It will be a war between the East and the East. We need to prep, guys. We need to definitely prep. And when I say this, I don't say this to fear. I say this because I worry. There's going to be shortage. Because as the whole system falls, the new system, and it's the food industry is part of the coin. The coin is changing. Trade is changing. There's going to be a new bridge of trade. 8 holds the key. So number 8 is going to come out. That could be to do with August or the 8th of a month. Or it could be 8 months from now. So they're going to have a word for this. They're going to have a word for this, and it's going to be something about the food trade, and they'll blame it on Putin, but there's more to it. Obviously, that's just the surface. Do you see what I mean? But they'll blame it on him. That's what they do. That's what the media does. They'll blame it on they blame the gas prices rising on him. You know what I mean? And people don't question this, you know what I mean? If you're not awakened, you don't question it, you just go along with it. Okay, so there will be a quake in the USA, and afterwards they're going to have to do new highways. I'm so sorry I'm giving you this, I'm seeing it. But I don't know if I'm looking on 2 or 3 years down the line, there's going to be a quake. It's coming from the sea, guys. That's what they're showing us. Fault, seabed. There will be a disruption with weather this year. We're going to have extreme weather. That's why you're seeing things like we've had over the last couple of months where there's been snowing in the desert in Saudi Arabia, and there's extreme floods to come into the UK. And we're going to have some tremendous thunderstorms. There is so many different timelines. Because the bad guys are still at play here, the bad guys are still at play. But they will not win. But there will be an event. There will be an event where they'll try and push it to the edge. And all I've been seeing this for the last 2 to 3 years now, is when it kicks off, go inside and shut the door. Go inside and shut the door. Military operations. WM. Remember that. Also, as well, I fear for more shootings in the USA, and I just feel that there needs to be something put into place for this. I want to send healing and protection out to all the children in the USA and teachers. It's heavy, this. Trade. So there'll be a problem. There'll be a problem because of the Ukraine with the grain. But also as well, I'm seeing a problem, and I'm going over to the Middle East, and I'm seeing Egypt. So whatever they put out on the news, there's more to it, what's going on behind the scenes type of thing. Do you see what I mean? And if you don't know what I'm going on about, you can go back to my last video I did on YouTube, and it's got Putin's on the cover photo of the video, and I cover it all into in-depth. Two worlds at the moment, two different realities. As we start to ascend, a lot of us are exiting this 3D. We are still living in the 3D because we're physical beings. Well, the media is part of the corporation. So you can't eradicate all darkness off the planet. You literally can't. Life's not like that. But we're going to get balance back. So there's mass investigations going on, guys. There's mass investigations going on in a lot of audits. And it's to do with different corporations. This is coming out really, really strong. And investigations in getting rid of the bad guys. There's also going to be a scandal there to do with Facebook, so watch for that. A massive scandal. I see a broken crown and a love heart and love doves crying. The root and the core is around a building where there will be mass investigations, and I do see the Pentagon. But I'm also seeing that there's a large industry, a large business with a flat roofed building. I'm seeing a blowing flag, and it could go bust. And there'll be mass investigations, and it's going to uncover a can of worms. Okay. There will be a baby boom. Don't believe that everything is said to be true is true. I'm seeing a lot of babies coming onto the earth plane and double or triple pregnancies, you know, like twins or triplets is coming in here. So where they talked about the causing infertility, it's actually going to be it's going to be different, unless it's just super sperm or something. But there's going to be a lot of triplets and a lot of talks of twins and triplets coming in here. Merrick Garland, I don't know why I'm seeing his face here in this crystal ball. It's coming out really, really strong. Problems. And Judi Dench, I don't know why I'm seeing her. She's a British actress. She's still alive. I believe she's still alive, isn't she? Okay. Dog. This is strange. The American flag will fall, then it will rise again. And there's something about a dog at the White House. I'm getting Biden again. I don't know why. He's not running the show, guys. It's not him. I'm seeing underground subways. Something about the the New York subways. Problem train. Smoke. Lots of water, China. Lots of water. TikTok's going to be in trouble. Mass investigations into all social media platforms. Crash with the dollar. It's short-lived. It's to do with the switchover when this happens. I want you to remember this. It's just a blimp. It's short-lived. 26th, 28th, 29th, 19th, 9th, and the 10th. The 9th could be September, the 10th month could be October. Huge news coming out. Dollar. And also big world news to do with around 2 main figureheads, gentlemen. Australia. There's something about a poisonous spider here, and it's problems with a spider. Now, I don't know if I'm obviously your summer's ended now in Australia, so I don't know if I'm looking into the following year when your warmer weather comes in again. Problems with a spider. Get in the UK as well. Problems with spiders or bugs this year. Need to watch for that. Again, I'm going to the underground and I'm at sewage. There will be big news to do with the underground tube stations. Possibly could be New York, yeah. I'm seeing smoke in a problems with the train, subway. But I'm also getting problems with sewage. We need to watch the drinking water. Okay. So, as you know, there's reports that Russian ships are around UK shorelines, North Sea. Okay. So he's got a plan. He's got all these different plans. He's trying to get into the pipelines. Again, there's different timelines. So he could do this, but if his plan A doesn't work, he'll try plan B, and it's got something to do with water. But something will happen to him before then. A woman will be his downfall, but also Trump's. Listen carefully to what I'm saying, and it'll all fall into place like a jigsaw puzzle. Trump and Melania are not good. Oh, good God. I'm seeing lots of trouble on the border at Mexico. Obviously, if Trump gets back in again, the wall will go back up again. But there's a divide in the road. There's a fork in the road. This goes beyond anyone's control. This is angelic. Because sometimes timelines won't always have the right people in. Because sometimes things can change for the future. The Vatican. Big news coming from the Vatican, and I see smoke. Things aren't good there. Like I see a lot of people exiting. And also that there's going to be announcements coming in from Germany. Right, farms. Trade's going to play a massive part into the future after the fall. And there's different countries. BRICS is going to rise. New Russia will rise. Putin's just going to go like that. A lot of them are just going to go like that. The journeys aren't over with yet. New Russia. New technology. A man with dark hair will step in. I see a lot of Starlink and new technology coming in with another two clever inventors. I'm getting that Sergey, guys. It's Sergey. He's Russian, isn't he? And people like him. To do with blockchain. I'm seeing blockchain. It's going to go massive. India. Something about water. Landslide. Pakistan. Be careful. Beware. 21, 22. Oh, I see the Queen in this crystal ball. Let me get a coffee. I wonder if I'm getting that from Spirit. I feel like I want to start chatting on her. Dearie me. Sergey Nazarov. I know. It's decaf. It's not the crown, it's the establishment. That's what you're saying. It's the establishment. It's the control. Right. She worries for her son. He's struggling. Broken heart. Unlucky. And a horseshoe's upside down, it's unlucky. Three events, three distractions. Because they know that the cockroaches are scattering. Trump will get his justice. Trump will get his justice in a strange, bizarre way. He will get it. They will end up pushing him, and it'll all come out because it'll backfire. But that does not mean he'll stand. Like I say, I'll take his week by week by week. Different timelines. Rock man, rock band, big news, exiting. shark problem. But I've got my guide, Jed, coming in and he's saying sharks have been here long before man. They were here in the Ice Age, sharks. They survived the Ice Age. Excuse me. And everything what's in a shark, there's something in a shark. I don't know if it's to do with its organ or its heart or its gills. There's some oil or substance, hormones. There's something in a shark which will cure heart disease. And there's so much what's been covered up by Big Pharma. Well-known man in the UK going to jail. It's going to be a shocking news there. I don't know what that is. Scandal to come out with a pop singer. I don't know if I'm looking in by this summer or the following summer. New grid. They're building space cities. I see great space cities. I'm saying I'm looking into the universe. The Milky Way. It's vast. It's like Star Wars, guys. It's just like Star Wars. And man is out there working within corporations, Galactic Federation, Space Force. He will make one more announcement. He will make a big announcement. Trump, he will. But there'll be a fall. There'll be tears. The flag will fall. The flag will rise. The truth will come out. And a past case will be reopened. Watch for lots of sightings this year, guys. Volcano eruption. Egypt, what takes place with Egypt will escalate something with Iran and Israel. Somebody's controlling Biden, definitely. Pentagon leaks. God, I'm going all dizzy and funny. Huge news coming out with Snowden. Where they said the announcement with the man on the moon. What was that famous saying, in One Step for Mankind or something, when they put the American flag on the moon? I know there's a lot of controversy there. There are people saying it's not true, but I believe they did go. They just didn't go back. They stopped going back because it was a takeover. They found life. They didn't tell her everything. All cases to be reopened. And 3 main figureheads will go to trial. Remember everything I'm telling you, and it'll all fall into place. I'm seeing another announcement, a bit like the moon, but I don't know if it's Mars. I could be looking on a few years here. And when the man stands in snow, we will know the truth. And I hope that's helped, guys. I hope that's helped. It's a bit of a strange one tonight, wasn't it? I was like jumping. One giant leap for mankind. There's going to be another. All the hairs are going up. I know I'm hitting it right. On my arms, there's something else coming. ooh. So yeah, they're still working themselves, the naughty ones. They're still working themselves. But there's a lot of clear-ups going on behind the scenes. So you'll have to, whoever came in through that second stream, you'll have to read it back and watch it back if you wanted, because I've covered a lot tonight. The truth always comes out in the end. It always, always does. It always does. Will the behind the scenes be real? No, not all of it. No, Cheryl. Definitely not. So to recap, there's big changes happening. It's like Piccadilly, it's like sort of Spaghetti Junction, what's going on with events. It's to do with who's going to be running for the next 2024 election. I just think you just need to let it play out. The gist that I've got tonight is that Trump will get some justice. He really, really will. But I do believe that it doesn't mean for sure that he's going to come back. It all depends on who's running up against him. What they do need is that they need the fools, if they are utter fools, if they select, and this will just show how dodgy the system is, if they select Biden to get back in again, whoever's up against Biden will make a mincemeat. All part of the plan, because behind the scenes you've got different types of both political parties working, but it goes like I said, it goes beyond politics, because it's all about the good and the bad, and they know what has to come. I do believe there is some real looking glass out there. There's talks of a looking glass. So they're trying to avoid events. So sometimes there is injustice. It doesn't always mean it's bad for bad, even though we would think it's for bad. So sometimes they'll try and stop something and put somebody else in the place. There's been an alter of timelines, guys. And it happened in the 2020 election to change something. And there's karma to come back around again. And I'm going to leave that one with you tonight. And look, I've got it again. When the man stands in snow, we will know the truth. Okay. So, she's coming out again. The woman with the blue dress. Like I said to you before, the only thing what's going to stop Trump moving forward is going to be a woman. And you can take that many different ways you want. It's either a woman who's going to win over him, depending on the timeline, or it's a woman what's going to get him in court or some other reason. But I also got the same thing with Putin. There's like a feminine energy what's coming across the planet on many different levels. There again. Woman in the blue trim dress. Is that Maria? Only time will tell, but I'm here every week to take you through it. I'm here every week. I mean, that is a loss. And there is a lot of people out there who would be very upset if that did happen from the right to the left. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't please everybody. But there is going to be something what's going to kick off there to do the Republican Party. There it is there. And the Five of Rods is normally like conflict and a loss. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's the election. It could just be getting more angry, and there could be problems there. Do you know what I mean? Within the parties. So when people have asked about all these big names like Soros and people like that, I just think they're like sort of disappearing into the scenes. I don't think much is going to happen from that. The places where you need to be looking who are taking the control is places like BlackRock and places like that. Do you know what I mean? It's far more evolved than that. You love the expression kick off. Well, yeah, because I think what's happening with the US, it's like it's so infected and it's destroyed within. And I think we're watching it. We're watching it dematerialize in front of us. There's been so much injustice, yeah. But yeah, so these different people, I just think that they're not going to go away, and where people have fed you stories about them going to Gitmo and that, I don't see that. I'll tell you the way it is. I really do feel that there's a lot of galactic influence what's going on this planet, and a lot of stuff what's been hidden from her. And I do believe that there's some not very nice beings who are being made to leave. If not, they will be in trouble. Do you know what I mean? But I think there's man involved here as well, and they're doing mass investigations and that. But a lot of things we won't find out about. It's just there's a big clean-up happening across the planet at the minute. But there's still dramas to come, guys. We just need to watch things slowly unfold. But then when it all sorts out, you know, it's not going to be all overnight. We will get that again. And I always think of the Roaring Twenties. You know how when the women went wild and they cut their hair and they went short with their skirts and all Charleston and everything changed. So we're at the edge of change before something else big comes out. Yes, it sniffs of WW3 ahead of we. It does. But we will be all right. And as I'll say, we say in Britain, keep calm and carry on. Keep calm and carry on. Because the United Kingdom will not fall. The United Kingdom will rise. Abundance is coming for everybody. But we will face, I want to say like they did in the island with the potato famine, but we're going to have problems with trade. And it's going to be rocky. So try to grow, try to prep, you know, try not to worry. It doesn't mean there's going to be no food at all. That will not happen, but there'll be shortages of different foods. I know, apparently it was, wasn't it? Washington DC was built on swampland. Interesting. It's going to go on till I would say either May of 2024 or up till May 2025. But I got you need to check back at the last video I did with Putin's face on the YouTube, the last looking glass I did, because I talked about that there was going to be, this was the plan, it was going to take them before everything changes and we'll go back to normal again, all right, with the prices and that. But there's a possibility 7 weeks from now we could be in some luck here. We could be in some luck. But it's going to take time. I think it's the fallout. It's the aftermath of everything. I mean, people's businesses are being wrecked and everything. People have lost businesses, homes. You know, it's a huge thing that we've been going through over the last couple of years. There's a fairer world coming in the end. There's a there'll be less homeless on the street. There's going to be, people shouldn't be starving. People shouldn't be homeless. So the greed has risen, should I say. The greed has risen. The snakes are the three heads to the beast. Will appear. But we as a collective will rise through it. And there'll be balance. But you've got to understand, this Luciferian world, the corporations are starting to rock. It's going to take quite a few months. I'm not going to lie to you. And exactly as Sweethearts put here, they're working really hard for pennies, yeah. I wish it could happen sooner as well. But again, I'm going to end this one with you, right? I'm not going to do any channeling tonight because it's getting late over here. Or remote viewing. Because I don't want to distort it, okay? I'll be back on again Tuesday. And I'll be doing channeling then in remote viewing. Alright, it's going to be woo-woo night on Tuesday night, guys. But that's Vatican. Like I say, there's a lot of people just leaving. There's a lot of big announcements to come in. Watch for big news coming in with the Vatican, and I'm going to leave that. A lot of people are just going to suddenly leave. That's what I'm getting. Sudden exits. And told the reason why. And it's a case we haven't got to feed into it, just have to let it go. I just think that the planets aren't helping, and it is affecting us as a collective as well. Where CS put here, Louise, the UK will never recover again. It's to its glory. It is finished forever. No, it's not. I refuse that. I'm a healer, and I'm also a foreseer, and what I see is prophecies. I feel it will rise again. It's going to take time. Look what our ancestors, if we were all pessimistic like what our ancestors went through when we were getting invaded by Hitler, there would have been no UK now. I refuse. It was the people as a collective back then who stuck together. And yes, there was many lives lost. But we will come through this. We really will. I'm not going to draw into the negative. I'm stepping out the situation, and I know we can break this. I know it's going to get very nasty, but we're going to rise. Right? And that's like New Earth. But it's going to take time, because life is not like a movie. It's not like, like 1 minute we're in destruction, the next minute it's all skipping through the daisy fields where we get a full, I don't believe that's going to happen, where it's going to be a full world announcement of what they've all done. I don't see that. I've never claimed that. What I say is that it's going to be us who's sorting this out, and it's going to take time. So yeah, we have to understand that this system's here to stay in all this technology, and it's getting rid of the baddies is going to take time. It's going to take time. You are very gifted, but this time you will lose. Really? I don't think so. If you don't like it, just leave. Like I say, this community is not for negativity. This community is for love and light. And what I see, I'll tell. And I'm not here to lick up anyone's backsides. I'm here to tell the truth. Okay? So this is not a political channel. This is the truth channel. And I'll stick with that. Okay, so if Sia Wilf doesn't want to know the truth, just leave and go elsewhere. Go listen to the crap from BitChute or somewhere where someone's making up stuff about stuff which isn't true, which isn't going to happen. Ha ha ha. Right? And now I will say a prayer. And I want to leave with there. I knew there was a reason why I didn't want to open up and do channeling, right? I will do channeling when I feel it's right. Don't forget, I'm a skilled medium, clairvoyant, and I've been in this field a long, long time. And I'll not be manipulated by nobody else's views. I'll tell it the way it is. People don't like it, they can go elsewhere. This is where you'll get the truth. Okay, so there's the Empress card, and that's feminine energy coming back onto this planet. Okay. I thank you, Michael. I thank you, Yuri. I thank you, Raphael. I thank you, Gabriel. I thank my great spirit guides, Jed, Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, White Buffalo and Ra, to give us the true answers. And anybody who needs healing tonight, they will receive healing. So what I'm basically saying to you guys, thank you guides, thank you angels. The circle is now uncast. Don't feed into the negativity. It's going to be one hell of a stormy year. My job is to take you through with my visions week by week. And I refuse to, if I see it, I'll tell it, but I will not feed into negativity. And like I say, this channel here is for every side of political spectrum. Everybody is welcome here. I'm just here to tell you my visions. And sometimes the visions can hurt people, but you'll always get the truth. And what I'm going to start doing is, I'm going to be doing behind the wall stuff. I'll always do the free stuff for you on here. I'll always be here for you. I've always promised that. But I am on Twitch. And for subscribers only, I'm going to be doing behind the scenes stuff. Very woo-woo stuff. So if you're interested, don't forget to subscribe to Twitch as well. And don't forget to subscribe here as well on YouTube, because people have been unsubbing, apparently unsubbing, but it's not been people who've been unsubbing, if you know what I mean. So it's going on with a lot of YouTubers. So I'm going to be doing woo-woo stuff, but you have to be a subscriber to do that. And it's going to be behind the scenes at some point. And obviously if you want to, sometimes I do Discord phone-ins to ring us on Discord. You've got to be a subscriber as well. Okay. So, sorry about the last end there of somebody. But I want to leave it there for the night. And I will be back on Tuesday night. And I am pure, and I am powerful, and I will not be taken down by nobody. Okay? Because I've got God on my side, and I've got angels. And our little group is here to find the truth. And just think tonight of what our ancestors went through. And it wasn't just the UK and Germany and what the Jews went through. The Americans went through it as well. You know, back in World War II, World War One, look how many lives were lost. And they came through it. And I'll say it again, one more time. Stay calm and carry on. This is your Psychic LJ, your host. May the force all be with you. I'll see you soon. See you Tuesday. Bye now. Now, how do I get out of here? Good night.